Well, there's this famous class years ago from OVW, which is Brock and Cena, Batista, someone else. I feel like Randy. Oh my God, this is like this unbelievable class. I was just thinking the other day, I'm thinking we re-entered one of these amazing classes because we got Fatal Influence, we got Oba, we got Trick, Ethan is on his way, Crybaby Ricky Saints is doing stuff. You know what I mean? And they're all hitting at once, which is you don't get. I feel like as a wrestling company, you don't get that lucky that often that this all happens at once. So no, I completely forgot where I was going as I started bringing this up. Yeah,
okay.
It was about psychology.
Okay,
I swear to God, it was. It was about psychology. It was about Sean, dude. Dang it! What did I? I'm lost.
Lost in the sauce.
I got lost in it. We talked about Black and Gold. We talked about Sasha and Bailey in that specific match. Barclays and tearing the house down and being a lot of people's favorite matches. There's setting a table, and then previous to that, you had the Divas generation who was working their tails off, the Natties and the Bellas, and they're trying to create Mickey. They're trying to set, and it's building upon building, and I think unfairly building slower, but it's here now, and it's at this apex that you're coming into. Twofold in terms of how do you feel being part of that now, but also have you noticed that the wrestling audience is very female? Very. I mean, that, and what does that mean to you?
It's really exciting. A little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Because, the groundwork was laid for it to be all the way up here, and it's up here, and now that's where I'm coming in at.
Yeah.
So a little bit intimidating, but very motivating to keep it going, because without everything that's been done before, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. And I want the people coming in after me to be able to continue to do it.
Yeah.
And I think the women all together have just been killing it across the board, across all brands. Like in NXT, the women were main eventing so often. It was incredible. Like I was able to have so many main event matches. I think it was 20, 25. And that was awesome. So it's really cool. And to be able to do it alongside with the people that I watched is even cooler. And again, it's one of those things that's just very surreal. Like if you would have told me when I first started watching wrestling, hey, one day you'll be in the ring with Brie Bella and Paige and Charlotte and Alexa and all these people, I would have said no. And I am. Yeah. So it's just really cool. And I'm very grateful to be able to do it because they have so much knowledge that I can learn from. Yeah. So to just suck all the knowledge out of everybody and continue to pass it along, like, it's pretty freaking cool.
You mentioned main eventing, and particularly the Royal Rumble this past year. The Royal Rumble this past year, I watched backstage in Saudi, and I was just watching the Rumble go on, and I knew. Again, the Royal Rumble is not entirely dependent on you, I guess, unless you're winning the thing or if you're in there the whole time. You've got your block in it. You've got your moments. Some people pretty long, they're basically the spine of the book on it. But I knew it would be very difficult for the men to follow. And I could see as they got to the deeper water of it and they got down to Live and they got down to it that this is hitting hard, and that I feel like taking it on the chin and executing on some pretty difficult stuff, which kind of shuts up the old timey type who, they can't pull it off in those settings, and then they could pull it off in those settings. But so really, this year was a prime example. Also, anytime EO's been in the ring or on, like, there are cards we have that I'll look and be very thankful for some of the names, and EO's one that I'm always
He is incredible.
Incredible, and it in a way it lightens things. Like, all right, if I blow it, they're gonna be fine. EO's gone out there and put in a shift already. She's killed it, and I noticed, and that's why I asked you about it with a lot of the different meet and greets and signings and just appearances that we're out all of us doing. Very, very large female audience, very large, and I think that number's gone up from years ago when they finally, touted, hey, it's 30% or whatever. And I actually this week did the Disney upfronts and ESPN and everything, and that was a big a big talking point. It was, oh, we didn't realize how many. Yeah, this is crazy. Maybe this might be a misogynistic question. I might not know it, so call me on it if it is. Do women watching, what do you think they want? Do you think they're looking for women main eventing, women on top of the card at WrestleMania? Or do you think, I'm curious what the women fans watching?
I mean, I think they would all love to see it.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. But I think that's kind of the beautiful thing is like, no matter where you put us, we're going to kill it.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be cool to see us in those spots.
Oh, no, for sure. And I feel with the conversation every year becomes, and somebody said it 2 years ago, the fact that it's a discussion, and it's always a discussion, men and women discussion, what could be it? What could be the one? That's a really great problem to have. And Hunter being really honest with us always about it's the best story. The best story is going to be, and to your point about NXT, you'll see that because it was happening down there, and now down there is coming, not to say up, but coming to SmackDown, coming to Raw, coming to the. So you'll see it transfer in real time, which is a really beautiful thing. And again, it's a competition, but it's also a collaborative effort. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
I am so glad you're here. You mentioned running it all. Are there any girls on the Raw side that you feel you want to step into the ring with?
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
Bailey for one.
Yeah.
Bailey's a big one.
We had Bailey on the pod before. I feel like we got to get Bailey back. Bailey's been up to a lot of stuff, huh? What's Bailey's camp called? It has a unique name. I just say her camp.
I always say
Lodestone,
Lodestone,
right?
Yeah.
Like Coldstone. But Lodestone. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know why?
I don't actually know.
Yeah,
why.
no, I kind of was counting on you to know why. I just know
I
that
feel like I'm sure she said it, but you should
sure there's
probably
some
bring her on to explain it.
deep, insightful reason why. But
sure
that
there
camp
is.
is amazing.
But that's like the amazing thing is just like watching all the women help each other and bring each other up.
Yeah.
And share the knowledge and want everybody to succeed and do well. And like, no, it's amazing that she's doing that. It's incredible. Not to mention how busy her schedule is, and she's still making time for all of that.
Talking about that camp, and I feel like you having just been, you've been with WWE for some time, but coming up, is there anyone out there that we don't know about? I mean, there always is, but there anyone you have your eye on that's not signed to WWE yet?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a real hard one. I feel like I've been in my own bubble since coming up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
You got to get out of the bubble.
I got to get out of the bubble.
But it's good. You know what? It feels good to be in the bubble.
It does feel good to be in the bubble.
But I feel one of the biggest things I found when I was away from here was, you got to get out because other places have bubbles too.
Oh, of course.
I remember wrestling in Japan. Their bubble was, we're the only thing. Nothing else exists.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, here. But and then I thought, hey, you know what? The best thing would be is just not be in any bubble.
Yeah.
Not be in any bubble. And then again, when you go do all these things you're doing and gonna be doing with all of ESPN, doing our PLEs and all these, Fanatics Fest coming up, and the fact that we're there with the sports elite, they have their own bubbles as well. Ours is the best bubble though. Fallon, do you have a fun fact?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But it's about your wife.
Okay, hit me.
I don't think I've ever told you this, but it was one of the first few times I came to work elsewhere. I talked to Brandy.
What a pro. You're in the bubble, huh?
I'm in the fucking bubble. I was just chatting up with her. I think it was I think I was getting ready for my match or something, and we were just talking. And the ice rink that I had my first job at when I was in high school was where she taught ice skating lessons.
That's actually wild.
Isn't that insane?
Yes. That is wild. She tried to teach me to ice skate, not good, but it is pretty crazy to see her doing that. And also, have you ever seen little kids learn to ice skate?
Yes.
Disaster, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Car wreck.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would want to but then they love it. They want to be out there on the ice.
But then
stuff.
there's some really good ones that are just insane.
What did you do at this ice rink?
I had 3 different jobs. I was scorekeeper for our younger youth hockey teams, office staff, and then I did the barista at our coffee shop.
So you're doing everything.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this criminology and this business degrees. What are we gonna do?
I don't know what my plan was. I went through a lot of different things.
Yeah.
My dad was Air Force, spent 35 years in the airline industry after that.
Okay.
And he was just
one airline?
Essentially, yes, they just got bought out. So it was Northwest, and then they got bought out by Delta.
So we're like family. Because I live on Delta.
We love Delta.
Yeah.